Heat scorched through the soles of my shoes, and the sun pressed down like it wanted to crush me into the sand. The horizon stretched endlessly around me. No shelter, no road, no voice to answer mine. They told me a walk would calm me down, clear my thoughts. Take a stroll, breathe, my sister said, her laughter trailing behind as a car engine roared. She waved from the window, smiling like it was a joke. Then they were gone. I stood in the middle of the blazing desert, 6 months pregnant, sweat dripping down my back, the child in my belly shifting like he knew something was wrong. At first, I called their names. Then I shouted until my throat burned. Silence was the answer, and in that silence, I understood they didn't forget me. They meant to leave me there. People thought we were a perfect family, smiling over dinner, saying prayers before eating, acting like love lived in every corner of our home. But I always knew it was a lie. My sister Leela, sharp with her words and adored for everything she did, was their pride. I was a quiet shadow, useful but unnoticed. When I told them I was pregnant, I expected disappointment. Instead, my father said coldly, "You've always been careless. Maybe this will teach you." I thought he meant responsibility, not abandonment. The betrayal started slowly. Whispers behind closed doors. Phone calls that ended when I walked in. Looks shared over the table. Leela's smirk every time she asked about the baby's father. Then one night, I heard her voice through the crack in the door. By the time someone finds her, it'll be too late. We'll say she got emotional and wandered off. My mother didn't protest. I stood frozen, listening. Something inside me didn't break. It hardened. They believed the desert would trap me, bury me, but it taught me how to endure. I walked, step by step, until I found a dusty road and followed it to a rundown gas station. A stranger called an ambulance. They saved my life. They saved my son's, too. I told no one the truth. Not yet. Justice given too early becomes mercy, and I wasn't ready to forgive. They thought I was dead. They held a funeral. My parents cried for the cameras. My sister wore white and wiped fake tears. News channels called it tragedy. But I was watching from somewhere far away, alive and waiting. Over the next months, I rebuilt everything. A new identity, a small apartment, and a quiet determination. I hired someone to trace their secrets. Bank accounts, hidden deals, forged signatures. I collected it all. I kept every recording, every document. And when I was ready, I started to pull their perfect world apart, piece by piece. Anonymous emails to reporters. A voice message here. A bank statement there. My father's company collapsed under fraud allegations. My mother's charity was exposed as a money laundering scheme. And Leela, her name was suddenly everywhere, tied to their lies. I watched from my couch as reporters camped outside their gates. Their faces were pale, eyes hollow with fear. I sent a small box a week later. Inside was the ultrasound photo they left behind in the car the day they abandoned me. On the back, I wrote, "You should have made sure I couldn't walk out of that desert." Then came the final blow. The dash cam footage of their car speeding away while I stood in the sand, pregnant, crying, begging them to stop. It spread across the internet in hours. Headlines screamed about the family who left their daughter to die for money. The world turned its back on them. Their name became poison. Exactly 1 year later, I went back. The same house, the same driveway covered in dust. They didn't recognize me at first. Short hair, calm eyes. No fear left in me. Leela stepped forward, trembling. "You're alive," she whispered. "Yes," I said, "and so is my son." I glanced toward the car, where he slept peacefully. My father tried to explain, but I stopped him. "You wanted me to learn responsibility," I said, quietly. I did, and I learned patience too. Leela fell to her knees, begging for forgiveness. But I had no forgiveness to give. As the police cars pulled into the driveway, I turned and walked away. They called me a miracle on the news, a survivor. But survival was only the beginning. Even now, sometimes I hear the wind of the desert in my dreams, the sound of tires disappearing into the distance. But it no longer haunts me. That same wind carried my revenge through courtrooms, through headlines, through every broken lie they told. They wanted me forgotten. Instead, I became unforgettable.